Great day, amazing humans. Yes, welcome to Empowering Bytes. This is where we keep it short and sweet. But who is the we? Well, the we is me, Nkechi, and
I'm Gaby with 1B. Pleased to be the co-host of these Empowering Bytes, where we keep it short and sweet.
E to the A to the B to the Y. Mamone! That is Gaby 1B Mamone. Let's go, girl. Let the show begin. Great day, amazing humans. Welcome to the next episode of Empowering Bytes. And I am joined by the marvelous, the scrumptious, the effervescent, the miraculous, the kindness queen, the 444 protection. You are heavenly, divine, and wonderfully made. And perfected in all things awesome. Gabriela.
Now that is an opening. I would love for you to introduce me when I am speaking next. Oh, girl. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
I'm going to let the listeners and the viewers know that you are going to see us in the same outfit a couple of times because we are batching episodes today because that's how we get it done.
Yep.
When we can't. She's outside, I'm inside. And so we're batching episodes today, and I am not going to go and change. I don't have that kind of capacity today.
Yeah. Okay. And I have a couple of bees around me, so sorry if you see me fly swatting.
And she doesn't even have another shirt, okay? Like she's out in the wilderness and she's thugging it with the bees.
I am.
One shirt. So it'd be odd if I go and change and she can't change. Yeah. It'd be like the co-host doesn't change. Anyway. So I think I did the last intro of the episode that we were doing. So do you want to let the amazing humans know what we're talking about today?
Oh, I would love to let them know. So think about what you're going through. Think about what you're going through in your life. We're just halfway through the year now, through the year. Okay. Yes. And sometimes people can be defined by what they're going through or what their circumstances. So today's topic is
don't become what you're going through.
Exactly. Do not become what you are going through.
Separate the two.
So let's talk about it.
So I'm going to start with something that you kind of mentioned in the B-roll because I absolutely love it. So when I'm interviewing somebody, and I think that's why I also start the guest episode with what's your most empowering thought that you've had of the day so far, right? Like something to like connect them with self. Yep. Maybe I need to start to introduce that into my interviews, but typically I start an interview and I say, I've read I even give them, now I give them context, right? Like I've read your bio. We've researched you on LinkedIn. We read all your credentials. What I wanted you to talk to me about is tell me about what we get when we get you. Like, who are you? Yeah. And still they start going through their credentials. They're like,
okay.
And it's so funny because my team and I now have a chat because because they were like, why do you do? Because I have to even explain to the amazing humans I worked with, like, why do I do that? And I said, because so many people start with the doing and not the being.
Yes.
And I said that anytime somebody asks you to introduce yourself, you should be talking about the being. When they say, what do you do? Then you could talk about what you're paid for, Sure. And it's in the being that we can articulate what we're made for. So I want to start with that. Like, I think that's kind of, you're not your, whatever you are going through in the sense of, we'll talk about it on two fronts, like the work that you do, that's not who you are. That's not your identity. You know, it's not stuck in that, but more so, I think the essence of this theme is also about if you're going through a difficult season in life, like could be whatever, like a separation, it could be job loss, it could be an illness, it could be like, don't become what you're going through. Right? Like, and when you do, like, when you're walking around like you're a divorce,
Right.
When you walking around like you are the flu.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
right.
But what if you stayed very much like I often say it like I think we've talked about that in an episode a long time ago, so I'm entitled to say it again today. But
Okay.
whatever falls I am, you become. And
Yes.
so if you say I am tired, which listeners, I don't know when you're listening to this today, but it's quite possible that somebody asks you how you're doing and you're just like, oh, I'm tired. And when you think about, like you say, I'm tired, does it ever really elicit like extreme happiness and joy and excitement and, fundamental like blazing energy in other people? Or do suddenly or just suddenly people join you in the, oh, yeah, I know, I'm tired too. And it's like
Yeah.
you slump into it. You don't rise into I'm tired, you
Yeah.
slump into I'm tired, right?
Yeah.
And so whatever you say after I am, you become. So you can, you can just, even if you are feeling tired, you can say, I am an amazing human and I need more rest.
Yes.
And the activity is getting yourself more rest. You're more likely to get more rest than if you walk through your day, I'm tired. I'm
Yes.
tired. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But if you say I need more rest, then subconsciously you start to think about, okay, I need to schedule some rest today. And it could be in the form of a nap, it could be an early bedtime, but but it's at least you didn't walk through the day feeling tired.
You're absolutely right, because circumstances are conditions. They're temporary, they're external. But your values, your potential, your kindness, your voice, that's internal. That's unshakable if you let it be that way.
Yes. And you could talk
Right?
about it because you have even with your condition about MS.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you met people on your journey who, and I say this respectfully, but were MS versus
Yeah,
somebody that was experiencing MS?
absolutely. In
Hmm.
fact, Montel Williams has MS and he has a really powerful quote. And his quote is, I may have MS, but MS does
But
not
MS
have
doesn't have
me.
me. Yeah.
And it's so powerful because we can relate that to anything. You are not your circumstance. You're not your bank account. You're not your job title. You're
Hmm.
not your trauma. You're not your diagnosis. You're not your mistakes. And you're not your environment,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Like we just said, circumstances are conditions. They're temporary, they're external. Now, in my situation, I have multiple sclerosis. That's not temporary. There is no cure. I live with it. I shouldn't say we'll have it forever. Who knows what the future will hold. But my point here is that the circumstance does not describe our situation. It's not our identity. And
Hmm.
that's such a powerful, powerful statement. If we can really truly embody what is our identity, it's
Hmm.
not what we've just mentioned, disability
Hmm.
and trauma and circumstances.
And the other thing I would say is, and why I think it's also important, if you start to think about it, you're insecure. Like if ever you feel insecure,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I know this, right? Because I'm going through something. And so I
Yeah.
can honestly ask myself, okay, in the moments where I'm feeling a little bit of insecurity, a little bit of like just unsure of myself, um, it's in that moment, I bet you there's something that I'm thinking about that my identity is secured to.
Oh, yeah.
And so if your identity is secured to something that's insecure, then guess what happens?
Yes.
You become insecure, right?
Yes.
And so and you could feel like if you start to really wrap your head around that and you start to walk through your day, like in those moments of insecurity, just pause and saying, right now, what am I feeling like? It could be I'm feeling like the email I just received from a coworker that, you know, triggered me or something like that. Like you
Yes.
could be
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
triggered. Okay, what triggered you? I got triggered because of X. Okay, where's your identity? Like, what is it about X that
Mm-hmm.
triggered you? Because that is what that your identity in that moment is locked in is intertwined with that, right? And there might be an opportunity to do some type of release work.
Yeah. Yeah. I would really ask the listeners and the people that are watching, when you take a look at what you're going through, do you wake up each day believing that you're stuck because
Mm,
of maybe where you came from or what you've been through or where you are right now? And here is the truth. the circumstances that you're in are describing your actual situation, not your identity. Okay? Let me say that again. Your circumstances describe your situation, not your identity. And so it's important that we don't feel lost, but rather take advantage of the lessons, take advantage of whatever we can do to be the author, not the setting. You know what I mean by that?
I love that.
Oh, I just made that
I
up. I
love
like that
that.
too.
I love.
Did I
That's
just
gonna
say that?
Yeah. I love that. You are essentially, you're not what hurt you, right? You're not what left you.
Yeah.
You're not what is upset with you. You're not the delay. You're not the diagnosis. You're not the job loss. You're not, you are like, you're not what they did. You are so much more than any of that, And so it's really, really important to do the work to understand what your identity is tied to. My identity, like for a long time, and like sometimes think about your story. Like what do you have on repeat as it relates to your narrative? I know that in the season I'm in now, as I observe myself, I'm seeing certain things that my identity is still connected to. And I'll tell you, like in this moment, that's why I love The Untethered Soul, that book, because that is a release of identity. It is that opportunity to untether yourself from anything other than what I truly do believe is the biggest I am statement from that book, which I am the one who sees. And so from in here somewhere, I am the one who looks out and I'm aware of the events, the circumstances, and the experiences that are passing before me, right? Like when you can start to sit back and observe yourself going through whatever you're going through, guess what? You've untethered yourself from that. And it's almost like we've also had this conversation. It's almost like feedback. People become the feedback they receive. And I often, for myself and everyone, I'm like, feedback is it's only data. And there's nothing about that data that says you must ingest it, that you must drink it, especially blindly. So before you gulp back, like, like some data, like feedback from somebody, one, recognize that every human is flawed. So you're receiving feedback from a flawed human, right? And two, not every feedback needs to be received, ingested, right? Like, I think it could be, examine it, explore it, be curious about it, ask questions about it, right? Like before, and decide what you need in order to help you become more. Because I do believe, what is it that you always said? Ideally, the responsibility of a human is to leave another human in the space of increase.
Oh, yes, exactly. That's what we have to do. We have to leave people in a position of increase. That is exactly what we need to do when we go through these transactions. And so when you are going through something, and I remember when I was going through my diagnosis, here I am 21 years later, I still have it. But what helped me is I acknowledged it. I acknowledged it, but I didn't absorb it. And I think the difference there is it's what I was going through, but it's not who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the difference when we take a look at our identity.
Wow.
What would you share with someone to end this episode for someone that's struggling with maybe their identity or they're going through something? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I mean, the title says it all. Like you aren't, like if you could just take a step back, you aren't what you are going through, right? And so, you know, if you can just sort of do like an exercise whereby you close your eyes and like pull back from the situation and start to look at the situation from you, looking out, right, at the situation, and then start to observe, and then with you in the situation. So observe how you're going through it, and talk to that person like, okay, where are you feeling in your body right now? What was it about that? Like try to start to do that, because I think everyone can do that in the presence of self. It just takes you trying, experience it one time to actually see that it's possible. Because you
beautiful.
truly are not what you're going through. You're not the hurt, you're not the pain, you're not the divorce, you're not the delay, you're not the denial, you're not the rejection, you're not even the happiness, you're not the happiness or the joy. Like these are all feelings that you experience, but you are much more than that. You are a wonderful human who deserves to observe the life that you are getting the opportunity to live in a human flesh, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
I loved this episode. I really
Yes.
do. To anyone that's listening, please, please ensure that you are not your circumstance. Remember
No.
that.
Storms may shape you, but they don't get to name you.
Yes, that's a mic drop.
Yes, I love it. So it is. Yeah, this is where we come to the end of this episode, and this is where I say I'm Ink.
And I'm Gaby with 1B.
And we're out.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.